Thank you everyone for joining us today. It's our second episode in our latest series, Brunch Bites. These are shorter, more compact sort of webinars and videos that we're sharing with our audience to kind of give you quick overviews of certain topics. Today we're going to give you a demo of how AI could be used to help with grant funding. We've got a couple more which I'll touch on at the end of the session, which you can sign up to in the next couple of weeks. So I'll do a quick intro first of all. So my name is Adam Graham and I'm the MD of Qlic IT for Charities. I'm joined as well by my colleague Pavan Sawhney. He'll be helping out for the Q&A at the end potentially. So we are Qlic IT for Charities. We're passionate about helping charities and the not-for-profit sector with their IT, empowering them with knowledge. We've got 20 years experience in the sector. We started in 2002 and now we're one of the UK's leading MSPs in the sector. We're a team of over 40 people supporting more than 350 organisations across the UK. We're completely national. We now have many clients now branching out abroad as well. So our main services are managed and co-managed IT support, cloud migrations, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, Google Workspace, cybersecurity, and most recently telephony and broadband solutions. And all the services we offer are tailored for the charity sector, keeping them reliable, cost-effective, and flexible for office or remote teams. Our ethos is to deliver human-centered, mission-driven technology, making sure technology supports your cause, not the other way around. Our goal is really to empower the sector through knowledge, especially with things like today and the other events we put on. If you've known us and you've seen us before, we put on a lot of content, really trying to help the sector as best we can. So today I'm going to be doing a demo of how to build an AI-powered grant finding agent in Microsoft Copilot. For those who don't know Microsoft Copilot, it's a large language model, very similar to ChatGPT. And you could use what I'm doing today in ChatGPT, Gemini, Meta AI. Any of the large language models will be able to do exactly what I'm doing today. So whichever one you're using is kind of AI agnostic, as it were. So you don't have to use Microsoft Copilot, but that's what I'm going to be demoing this morning. So it'll give you an idea of what you can do in any of the other large language models. So what is a Copilot agent? So all of the LLMs have different words for these. I think in ChatGPT, they call them custom GPTs. In Copilot, they're called agents. So what agents do is they allow you to shortcut on context. So what they do is they allow you to build all of the context into an agent or a chat before saying anything. So you can build in as much information about your organization and what you're trying to achieve using the AI before you start prompting. So, as we know, AI, great results in AI are all about context. So the more information you give AI, the better the answers you get, the better information you can pull out of the system. So we can build the context in and we can keep using that over and over again, saving time on recurring tasks and getting the best possible results. So things like grant funding, where you're doing it over and over again, this is the perfect way of doing those tasks, building an agent. Any questions about agents or how to do those? And again, I'll demo how to build it. But we can talk about that at the end as well. Now, many of you will know that Microsoft has two versions of Microsoft Copilot. So there is Copilot Chat and Microsoft 365 Copilot. So the free version, which is built into Microsoft Teams and online on the web, and the paid version that is built into your apps. Now, building an agent can be done in the free version of Microsoft Copilot, as long as you're not sharing files into it or sharing it with your colleagues. So if you want to build it and share files into it and share it with your colleagues, you would have to have the paid version. But what we're doing today can all be done in the free version, as long as you're only using it for yourself within Microsoft Copilot Chat. So that is the free agent as well. If you want, you do get more features with the paid version. We have had previous webinars which you can look to. I think our first Brunch Bites was the differences between the different versions of Microsoft Copilot, if you're interested in that. So now I will share my other screen and we will go through the demo. So this is my grant finding agent. So I'll quickly show you how I've built the agent and then how I've used it and then what we can do once we've got it in place. So in your Microsoft 365 Copilot, you should have an option here and there's options for create an agent. You should have that, as I say, in the free version. There are also pre-built agents that Microsoft have built or other people have built. So you can actually get pre-built agents, and there probably are some for grant finding. But I always think building your own agent can make it more personable. So you click this create an agent button here, and I'll show you the one I've obviously pre-built. Everything I've done today is pre-built. It's one of those, here's what I did earlier scenarios. And that's because you just want to make it faster. Obviously, we've only got 25 minutes today, so I want to make it as quick as possible. And there it is, even taking a while to load. So when you go to build the agent, You have an option to describe what you want it to do or to configure it. Because I've pre-built this one, I'll show you the configuration, but you could just say, I want to build a grant finding agent for my charity, explain the context. But here's my configuration. So you have a name, grant finding agent. This agent is designed to help find suitable grants for my charity, Mindful Pathways. That's a charity I've made up. And then here is the detail. So search the internet for suitable grants for my charity, Mindful Pathway. Our mission, providing accessible mental health support for young people and parents through counselling, peer groups and online resources. We are a UK-based charity looking for funding for operational work and project work. We're a small team of 20 staff and some volunteers. We're based in London, but work nationally and looking for grants from £1,000 upwards to help our mission. We have an annual income of £1 million and we target young people, parents, and no specific subgroups. So this is giving it all the information about my made-up charity. Again, the more information you can give it, obviously, the better your results. In terms of finding grants, as my understanding is that they're going to want to know your income, how large you are, why you're looking for the grants, operational work, project work, and what sort of amounts of money you're looking for. So I'm giving that in advance, so it doesn't have to give me grants that we're going to be eligible for. And the more you can give it, the better it goes. So when you find the grant details, check the grant eligibility criteria and take out any that would not be suitable or that may have expired. Keep it in any that are suitable and provide details of the criteria. Among others, check these sites. So these are some sites that we're aware of that have grants available. So Funding Central, Charity Excellence Framework, National Lottery, gov.uk, 360 Giving, Young Futures Foundation and Trust for London. Now, again, you can provide more knowledge, so you could link it to your website if you have a website. And if you have got the paid version, you can also upload documents such as your mission statement or other information that might be helpful. But for this, I haven't given it any extra context because obviously we don't have a website. But again, the more you can give it, the better. So that is literally it. That is built now. So all we need to do, there are some, you can have obviously turn on image generator and code, but you won't need those for this scenario. And again, I've got a pre-built prompt here, which just says, search for suitable grant funding applications for my charity, Mindful Pathways. Again, all you need to do is click on that, and then it will give me some of the information I'm looking for. So again, clear instructions. You've got 8,000 characters you can put in here. I've only done 1,500. The more, the better. And this is completely free to build these in Microsoft Copilot Chat. So once you're finished, you can click Update or Save. And as I say, here's what I did earlier. So here's the chat that I did earlier with this agent. Actually, I'll just show you first of all the agent. So this is what it looks like when you load it up for the first time. And in here, you can ask for any message, or you can click the button that you've created to search for grants. As I say, this is the one I did earlier. So I'll just show you the chat. It's quite good, and it asks you lots of questions. I'll show you how I went through it. So first of all, I've just hit the button, search for suitable grant funding applications for my charity, Mindful Pathways. I had to give it very little information because it's got all the information already. So here it's kind of reading back my information. So thanks for your patience. I'm searching for grant opportunities based on your mission and profile. And then it's listed out my mission and my profile. So again, I can make sure that information is correct. Tells me where it's searching, again, because I've already provided that. It takes a moment. It's asked me a few questions. So I'm looking for core funding, project funding, upcoming projects or themes, partnership or consortium bids. So here I've kind of answered those. So project-specific funding for our digital mental health outreach to help support young people's mental health. No partnerships or consortiums. Again, obviously, you would give it whatever context you need. So it's come back and it said, great, that's really helpful. And it's going to look for project-specific funding for digital mental health outreach. And again, it's looking at these grant locations and then filtering out anything that's expired, unsuitable, and focusing on grants of £1,000 upwards that will support these issues. And then again, it's asked, where do I search? Do you already have a timeline or budget in mind? So again, it's asking more questions. So I said, yes, we're looking for funding by the end of this year and a budget of around 25,000. Again, if you know what you're looking for, you could have pre-built that in. So it could ask less and less questions to save you time. So then it's again clarified what I'm looking for, which is great. And then it's listed out possible grant funding opportunities. So National Lottery Community Fund, awards for all, the size of the grant, deadlines, focus, eligibility to make sure we're under it. And again, it's checking on that for us, whether it's a good fit. And it's got a link as well straight to the page. It's got another one here, the Paul Hamlin Foundation, the Youth Fund. Again, looking for our grant size, which is what we said, 25,000, deadlines, and the eligibility criteria. So again, this matches our criteria, a link to that. Pixel Fund, similar again. The For Trust, City Bridge Trust small grants. So we've got 5 options there for potential grants that we looked at just by typing in a few words, which is fantastic, saving lots of time. Would you like me to try the live search for additional open grants, or would you prefer helping draft an application for one of these? So I've come back and said, yep, can you help me with the grant application for the National Lottery Community Fund? Brilliant. So there you go. It's going to help me do that based on, again, all the information I've previously provided in the agent builder. So it's understanding the grant, which is what we've gone through. So the amount of the grant, the deadline, and what we need, making sure we match the criteria. And then it's preparing some draft content here, which I can look at for the project. Some key questions that it's going to make me answer as well as part based on the application. And again, you're going to need to check these to make sure the application does meet. But again, this is really draft work, as Microsoft always say, and a lot of them say, this is a Copilot, this isn't doing the work for me, this is giving me information to help me do the work. It's looking at budget breakdown as well. So again, it doesn't know what we're looking for, but again, hopefully you have ideas of what you're going to spend the budget on. And then, kind of some final tips. So then it says, would you like me to help you draft a full application or create a template? I was like, yes, please help me create a full application inside a template that I can edit and submit. So here is a full application that's put together. Again, really, really good. And it's kind of put as much in there as possible. Again, it's left out information that I haven't provided, but you could provide this in advance if you wanted to. Things like charity number would be really good, because then you can obviously search up, see things like turnover on charity commission, etc. So it's got the project title, a project summary, start and end dates. Again, these are information I provided earlier. How much I've requested. It's actually got that wrong. So I said for 25,000. So again, we can look at that as well and update that. What we do. So again, it's assumed this, but this is stuff that we could then edit and update. Why it's needed, who will benefit, how we involve the community, because it's a community fund, and what difference will it make. Again, it's made up of an example budget that we have to change, looking at safeguarding as well, qualities and inclusion, and how to submit that. So again, it's giving me a link to submit that. And I said, it says, would you like me to help you tailor this for further submission or prepare a version in Word or PDF? Now I've said, okay, great, yeah, create a Word document. That's brilliant. Now I do have the paid version, and normally to use a Word document in this way, you would need the paid version. So I guess you could only really do a PDF if you don't have the paid for version. But it has actually come up with an error at this point. So it's I can help with that. However, I'm currently unable to generate downloadable files, even though it's offered to do that, which is quite strange. But what I did notice after it came up with that error, because obviously it's just giving me the content again, it's got this really good button here, which I didn't realize, which is edit in pages. So I clicked that button there, and it's given me this in pages, which again, I believe is a free feature. If we just wait for that to load, it's given me the full application that I can edit on the fly. So I can literally edit this on the fly and update it with my information. So adam@qlicit.com, and put in my phone number, go through, edit the text, all that kind of stuff, which is fantastic. I can just edit that on the fly without going any further. And I did notice as well, it's got this option here to open in Word. And again, I believe this is a completely free feature. This will literally help me open it in Microsoft Word and edit it on the fly. So it's open it in Word Online. And again, it's formatted it well. And again, because I have the paid version here, it's going to load up Microsoft Copilot and let me put actually more information in there. So it's generating a summary. But even in the free version, it's going to let you open this in Word and edit it without using any more AI, but also give you the information. So it's given me loads and loads of information there, and it's helped me put together, so it's helped me pull out multiple different funding opportunities based on our criteria that we've given it in advance. It's helped me put together a funding application based on what it knows about our organization and what we do. And then it's allowed me to edit alongside it in Microsoft Word. Now, again, obviously what you do need to do is check all the information. This is a draft. It's not going to be 100% correct, but you see a lot of the work is done for me there. I've managed to pull this together in no more than 15 minutes, and it's been, fantastic help. And I've actually gone one step further here. What I did later on was I went back and I said, I'll just show you this because this is quite clever. Search for suitable grant funding applications for my charity every Monday at 9 a.m. UK time. And again, it has set up a recurring search every single Monday. So again, this is something that is available. And again, I believe it's only available in the paid version. You can have scheduled tasks, but it's really, really helpful. So if you have someone who does funding applications regularly, This can search for you every single week, every day, once a month, however often you want it to, and just give you the results. So you come in Monday at 9 a.m. and you've got all of your grants, all of your information there, ready to provide you with that, which is a great way of doing your research in advance. You turn up at your desk on a Monday morning, some of your research is done for you, and you can carry on and spend your day looking at the specific grants, checking the criteria, completing the applications, helping with the help of AI. So this is a really, really great feature that Microsoft have built in, which is scheduled tasks. So that's something I definitely look at as well if you're looking at this. Hopefully, that is all I've got for today. So we're going to open up the Q&A. Hopefully I didn't go through that too quickly. And if I did, this will be on our YouTube channel in the next sort of 24 hours. So please do jump on the YouTube channel and have a look at that. And let us know if you've got any questions. So I'll skip to the Q&A if we have got any questions. So I've got a question here from Mark Reynolds. How does this compare to just asking for grants on GPT or Grok? So I would say that the models are very, very similar in terms of the results you get. The difference here is that because I've built an agent, I don't have to give it all the context, first of all. So I've pre-filled as much information as possible, saving me time and time again, because obviously I don't want to just do grant applications once or once a year. I want to do it regularly. So by giving it the context of building an agent, and in ChatGPT, you could build a custom GPT. I had one of those on the screen. You might have seen in my web browser. I've tried it in both. Again, they get similar results. So it's just your preference, if I'm honest. I haven't personally used Grok, so you can potentially try it in that. But again, I imagine the results will be very similar. But I definitely think the main thing here is building out the agent or the custom GPT, because it's really, really important. So that that's the time-saving part there.
Hi, Adam. It's Pav here.
Hey,
Good morning,
thanks.
everybody. No worries at all. Yeah, I've got a few of the questions here lined up from the Q&A as well. Some really good questions here, so thanks, everybody. So one of the ones was, how do we ensure data security and compliance when using AI for funding research? So on that one, both ChatGPT and Copilot and any of the other systems you use should have the facility to not train the model. So within Copilot, there's a switch at the top that will allow you to switch between work mode and regular training the model. If you make sure that is switched to work, you can see here Adam's actually got it permanently switched on. The enterprise data protection is switched on for our organization. It means that it's not training the model at all. And in ChatGPT, there is in the settings also an option there not to train the model, which is of equal importance. Adam will show you that here as well. So there we go. Data controls, that's the one. Yeah, improve the model for everyone. So as you can see, for us, it's switched off. That just basically means that anything you communicate with ChatGPT is not going to train the larger language model, and that you can be confident in its security. There's also another query here regarding whether funders are open to applications supported by AI, or is there still stigma around it? To be honest with you, there has been historically stigma around using AI for applications, or as they were for coursework for school students, and even for use in responding to emails. But I think that stigma is slowly fading away as people are realizing it is there to help, and it will also help the funders in analyzing your applications as well. There's no doubt that they will have technologies, if not already, then in the not too distant future, to help analyze the applications that are being submitted to them. But it's always worth going through these things with a fine-tooth comb and making them as human as possible. We have noticed a significant difference in the way in which these models perform now, and they are now much more in line with human responses than they ever have been in the past. So I would say it's there to be embraced, really.
There's a question here about what are the risks of relying on AI for grant writing, and yeah, the risks are obviously misinformation, so the information being incorrect, which obviously depends on what you've provided. Hopefully the information you've provided is correct, but also you've got to check the answers. So it really is all about, this is a draft, this will need editing. I would never, in any of the work we do, and we use AI, I'm never going to pull out the information from my AI, stick it into a grant application and send it off without checking it. That would be, obviously not helpful. So what we would do is definitely, with drafting, this is all about drafting. It's about saving time, giving you the ability to find the grant applications. Again, you're going to need to check that they are eligible, they are still in date, because it might be wrong. But it's just saving you time getting that shortlist together, drafting that application, and then putting it together. You're going from, I imagine, spending hours and hours and days finding the grants and writing the applications, to spending a few hours to find many grants, apply for all of them, and drafted with AI. So again, it's saving so much time, even though you are still having to put in some effort. It's not completely effort free. It will definitely speed things up, and that's the idea, I think. Is there any other? Oh, someone mentioned again, how did we open the document in Word? You missed that. Again, it will be on the review, but when I went back, I'll just show you quickly. So at the very end, there was an option to open in Pages. I click that button there, and that's on all of the responses as well. So it has got that on all the responses when it gives you a long response. So when I clicked on that, and then once it loaded, in the top right hand corner was the option to open in Word, if you can see that as well. But you can edit in Pages as well. I mean, Pages is just like a similar to OneNote. It's kind of Copilot's version of OneNote. But then you've got the option to open in Word as well. And again, you can share this with colleagues. So you can share with a colleague and say, are you happy to check this for me? Because that's a really good way of double checking the information is correct.
Yeah. I also got a very good question here from Tamara, which is, could you create a grant application writer agent, and would you direct it to where to look on your server to pull from previously written applications? So absolutely, with Copilot in particular, you can point it to some documents within your SharePoint or OneDrive, and you can ask it to consider those documents when it's preparing your response. So it already knows, how you would have gone about this, doing it manually. With ChatGPT, you can do similar. You can create a project and upload some documents to that area. So again, it's got a bit of existing knowledge on the format that you would use and some of the information and the specifics that you would use. That's certainly something we do here. It really does help combine years worth of proposals and years worth of tender responses into one pool to allow us to select the best bits for responses now. So yeah, very, very good question there, and certainly something would be very useful in this instance.
Yeah, to confirm as well, that's only in the paid version that you can get to actually look at your data. So in the free version, I believe you can upload documents, but I wouldn't do that with anything that's data protected. But in the paid for version, again, you can upload documents directly, or you can ask it to look at a certain area in your SharePoint or your OneDrive. And again, you can upload to ChatGPT as well if you have the paid plan as well, which is really helpful because, again, we do things like tender responses. So, for instance, we're going to look at our past tender responses. So it's got an idea of the way we talk and the way our tone of voice and the way we answer the questions, which, again, is just saving so much time because I don't want it to give generic information. I want it to give information based on how we do things as an organisation.
Yeah, there's another question from Anonymous. We've got a request just to show how you started building the agent out. It's may have missed that first few minutes there, or first minute or so, but I'm sure Adam can show you that again here.
Yeah, so very, very simple. Again, you load up Microsoft Copilot. I've got the Teams version here, but you can use it online as well. And in the Copilot option, there's an option to create an agent here in the sidebar. And again, this is the one I've created now, but you can just click create an agent, and that's when it pops up, and you can describe what you want it to do, or you can click configure and manually type in what you want it to do. If you describe, again, it's got ones here that some templates they've obviously already built, and then configure helps you manually type in what you want to do. But again, all of the information, everything I went through will be on our YouTube channel in the next 24 hours, and we'll send it out afterwards as well.
Yeah,
so there's also a lot of opportunity for that.
Just to add ever so quickly to that area as well, the instructions themselves, if you bullet point the instructions you want, or even roughly write them, you can ask for it to improve the instructions for you as well. So it can help you generate the instructions themselves and enhance what you've already got. It might add some context that perhaps you had missed previously. So yeah, you always can call upon it for assistance in producing these agents and instructions as well. One last question, I think. Actually, we've already asked that. We've answered that one anyway. I think that is all of them. Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously a bit mindful of time here, but again, I just want to mention that obviously we do have many upcoming more webinars and content as well. So we've got an AI adoption for charities on the 24th of September tomorrow, and we've also got moving to the cloud and maximizing 365 on the 4th of November. We have 2 more brunch bites coming up. One on the 8th of October. Regarding SharePoint versus OneDrive, and one on the 16th of October on Microsoft Teams. So again, please do stay up to date. I think I attached our link in our newsletter, so you can sign up to our newsletter, and that will give you all of our content that's available. Again, we've got lots of past content on YouTube. So again, building agents is something we've touched on many, many times. And there are options on there on YouTube, whether you use Copilot or ChatGPT. And if you are around in person, we are at the AI Summit for Charity Digital next Thursday, and doing a very similar workshop about grant funding applications for charities. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Appreciate the questions as well. It's really good to be able to interact and have you part of the journey. Thank you.